15 years, it was actually the Corps of Engineers that was responsible for most base security. And then the third question, I don't remember.
I think the third question was, how do we tie it all together? How do we really put all this in place?
I'm sorry, yes, and working with the local law. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't approach my local sheriff. I don't coordinate with local law enforcement unless I meet them at shooting events or competitions, which a lot of people are not going to get into. If there is an event, if there is a breakdown, they will figure out very, very quickly who's preparing, who is confident, who has a problem, and who doesn't. And, maybe if you're friends with a local deputy or constable, maybe if you have a relationship or a family relationship, just mention, hey, we're preparing, we're storing up some food, we're storing up some medical supplies. No matter how bad it gets, we intend on staying here.
Hey, Joe, we got to go to a break here. I want to give out the 800 number also from callers, 800-259-9231. We will take more calls with Joe Nobody on the other side of this break. Sorry to interrupt you there, Joe. I'm sure people are really digging this information, so there's a lot more straight ahead on the other side here on the Alex Jones Show. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more. It's official. I was talking to the InfoWars crew members during the break, and they all unanimously agree they want Joe Nobody on their team if society does collapse. Yeah, he's a good guy to have on your side, but you can get his information and knowledge just by checking out some of his books. And okay, great. I'm just getting a note here that we're going to get a quick update also from Adam Kokesh. So, Joe, if you don't mind, just going to put you on hold for 1 second. Adam is calling in because there's a rally right now today. It's a veterans rally of Ron Paul for president. Is he available right this minute, guys? Or I guess we'll find out. In any case, either Adam or Joe Nobody will continue with us here in a moment, and we will take more calls, and then we will continue past this next break. So who's with me right now? Joe, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, we'll continue with you until Adam, he's just going to give us a quick update when he's available. But go ahead. The scenarios that we were talking about seem very realistic to people, but I think a lot of people are shocked at some of what you came up with. Is this just because you've seen this stuff happen, or how is it that you have this understanding of, the bad guys can get really crazy and really violent really quickly? Where did this information come from?
Well, again, most of the security of people, even the American Army generals, are typically guarded or protected when on foreign soil by private contractors. And there is a vast database of knowledge out there. For example, what I was talking about earlier with the suburban home and just driving a vehicle through the front door. I think everybody remembers that horrific event with the Marines in Beirut in the 1980s.
Right.
And what a lesson everybody learned. It was a real eye-opener for all of the professionals out there in any branch of the service or government service or any of the alphabet agencies or anything. And so it's really a combined database of knowledge.
Hey, Joe,
desperate people
Joe, I apologize for interrupting. I got to put you on hold right now.
These days with the internet, with the training
Go ahead
that's out there.
and give us Adam here. I apologize. Adam's just jumping in for a quick update. Adam, are you on the line? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I am. Are we on the air right now?
Yeah, we're on the air. Go ahead, Adam.
Outstanding. Hey, this is Adam Kokesh. I'm here actually on stage right now at the event. Ladies and gentlemen, I am on the air right now on InfoWars with Mike Adams filling in for Alex Jones. Do we have a
Great.
Thank you very much. I hope that was a warm welcome for you.
Yeah, that was awesome. How can you give us an update? What's happening?
Go on. All right. I hope you appreciate that. We were in the middle of our musical interlude towards the end of our rally. We're getting ready to step off here. There are a lot of people that appreciate InfoWars, that appreciate the Alex Jones Show, appreciate you, Mike Adams, for filling in today and what you're doing, and all the help that Alex Jones has given us in promoting this event.
Well, likewise, we appreciate what you're doing, Adam, and your show, Adam versus the Man. I mean, can you give us a quick update what's happening there today?
Sure. We're really excited. It looks like we're going to have about 400 actual veterans in our formation. Really excited about the turnout. It's a very, very, very veteran-heavy crowd. Of course, we have our family members and supporters here, but really the power of this community of veterans and active duty guys coming together.
Hey, 30 seconds, Adam.
You can hear it now. End this war. We want Ron Paul for president. He's the choice of the troops. It's time for the Republican Party to listen to the ones they say they support.
All right, good to hear from you, Adam. I want to hear more from you after the event, so let's get in touch after this. Stay with us, everybody. More to come here on the Alex Jones Show. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We're back. Welcome to the third hour of the Alex Jones Show. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, filling in. And we're continuing our interview with Joe Nobody, who I must apologize to for cutting him off there in the last segment. We got a call in from Adam Kokesh, who is live on the march right now. 400-plus veterans are marching on the White House right now to support Ron Paul for president. And that's Adam Kokesh, of course, who is himself a veteran, and he held up the phone there and announced he's live on the air with InfoWars, and got a great round of applause. So we want to support all those veterans. I'm sure that Kurt Nimmo is probably going to be looking at writing a follow-up story on the results of that march, and I hope to hear from Adam to potentially cover that on National News as well. We all want to support these veterans and Ron Paul, of course. Now, continuing with Joe Nobody, didn't mean to cut you off there, Joe, but such is the nature of live radio. Were there any final thoughts you want to finish up, or are you ready to take another call?
We're ready for another call.
All right, let's go to the name I have on the screen here is Boron from Alabama. I guess that will be an elemental question, right?
Yeah, my name is Boron.
Boron, I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's a little unorthodox. Yeah, I'm the founder of WTFRLY.com. I've actually reposted a couple of your articles, and I had two specific questions about ongoing preparedness. The first is what you think about as far as food, and it relates to not just so-called beans and whatnot, but all types of powders that are out there, like longevity, all these products. What do you think about that as far as ongoing preparedness, and also about if you're having to cook, what do you think about actually your placement of a fire, near your camp? People will be able to smell it, see it. What do you think about the ongoing? Okay,
good. Great questions, Boron. Sorry about mispronouncing your name there. Joe, why don't you go ahead and take the campfire question, and then I'll handle the nutrition question.
Sure. Fire and smoke is always a risky proposition. There are some experts who believe that after a collapse, fires, especially around urban areas of homes, because there won't be a fire department, there won't be water pressure, there won't be very many ways to fight a fire, that fires are going to be very common. So seeing smoke on the horizon might be something that people ignore. Other people believe that you should never use any type of smoke-generating wood, very dry wood. There's typically a lot of materials in most geographic regions that generate very little smoke. My advice to people is always try things out, try different materials to burn, and see what generates smoke and see what doesn't. The other thing that I always teach people is if you are going to do a fire, if you're going to start a fire, you need to set up a perimeter. You don't want to be surprised. Surprise is always the worst thing. And Mike, you're better qualified on the food question. Okay, well, I'll keep it short. There are a lot of superfood powders that do store for a year or two, Interfood being among them, many others. But if you really want to be prepared, you've got to get into sprouting. That's my opinion. Get some sprouting seeds and a sprouting tray. You could even just use a jar with a special lid or even a small bucket or a canister of some kind. All you need is water and seeds, and you can grow your own nutrition in an emergency situation without even going outdoors. So it's a really important skill to learn. Now, Joe Nobody has been our guest. He's the author of Holding Your Ground. He's also the author of what was the book that we just showed there? Yeah,
Joe, go ahead and tell us the name of your other books on Amazon, please.
Sure. There is the Tijuana Tuxedo as a beginning book, mainly about load carry gear. There is Without Rule of Law, our latest book, which is in case your preps fail or are overrun and you have to live off the land. And then our novel is called Holding Their Own. It's a lot of fun. Some good prep things.
Okay, we got to let you go. We're out of time, Joe, but it's been great talking to you. Thanks for joining us. Hope to have you on again in the future. Appreciate all your information.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The third hour now here on the Alex Jones Show. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, filling in for Alex today. I want to give a shout out to Alex and thanks for the invite for hosting. I'll also be hosting 1 week from today, Monday, the 27th of February, when we'll have Jonathan Emord on. He's the author of a new book called Restoring, I believe it's called Restoring the Republic, with a foreword written by Ron Paul. We also will have Dale Carson on, who I mistakenly thought was going to be on today, but he's going to be on next week, which is even better because you saw all the news we had to cover today. We still have more to get to, in fact. And then coming up shortly in a few minutes, we're going to be joined by Dr. Sheldon Marks, a microsurgeon and a urologist who has all kinds of great information about medical preparedness, emergency medicine. If you have questions for Dr. Marks, go ahead and call on in. We've got the call-in line here at 1-800-259-9231. And those of you who are already on the line, Barney, Jared, Rio, and more, if you have questions for Dr. Marks, we will be getting to you in the next few minutes to get those questions answered. Now, you'll notice a lot of the information today is focused on preparedness. That's because time is growing short. You know, you see the writing on the wall. You see the red flags out there. You know that we've got to stay prepared or we're going to suffer some, well, potentially suffer some consequences. We don't know what's coming down the road, but we do know it's smart and wise to be prepared. But have you ever noticed that now the very acts of preparedness are being called almost like terrorism? Well, how dare you buy extra food and store food? How dare you go to a military surplus store and buy some equipment to keep yourself safe and prepared? How dare you use cash or buy gold or buy silver? These things are, well, only crazy people do that, or only radical people, or maybe only terrorists. But then you learn, well, the government's preparing. And in a huge way, too, not a small way. The government is preparing in a massive way, and they have been for decades. The government has spent hundreds of billions of dollars creating these cave systems. And I'm from Missouri, and I used to drive by these caves in Kansas City. They're just carved right out of limestone caves. You can drive an 18-wheeler tractor trailer right into them, and they drive in and out of there all day long. You used to be able to see them right from the highway. I don't know if you still can. But they have massive amounts of supplies in there for government. So they've got the food, they've got the medicine, they've got the firearms, the security, the communications, the water filters, you know, all these things, seed banks to restart and regrow gardens. And you can bet those are not genetically modified seeds because they know they need to be able to grow them generation after generation. So it brings up the question, why is it okay for government to prepare, but not you and me? What's up with that? Should the government be the only entity that survives a disaster? Is that the message that we're being sent? Oh, you little people, you vaccine injected little GMO